Thanks, Damien. Matt Carthy, MEP for the Midlands North West. I want to commend Border Communities Against Brexit for all that you have done, and commend all of those actual communities and people right across these counties that have supported you. I have to say, the video, I didn't know that video existed of that march in Monaghan. That was my first political march that I ever attended in Monaghan town. I persuaded an aunt of mine to drive me to it, because that was at the time in my life when I first became politicised. I remember when my own family moved back to Carthy, and I would have been an avid history reader, and I loved particularly stories and books about the Tan War or the War of Independence as it was described in the book. And I remember when we came back to Carthy, travelling just a few miles to Cullaville when I met my first British Army checkpoint, and the anger and the seething that I felt for days afterwards. And this, to my good luck and fortune, coincided with a period of time when Republican leaders like Martin McGuinness and others were actually formulating the genesis of the peace process, and allowed us to attend marches and contest elections and engage in political campaigning in order to secure political objectives, rather than having to do what people just a few years older than me had to do, which in many cases resulted in imprisonment and lives being lost, and the tragedies that we know. So the work that has been done here and by Border Communities Against Brexit in ensuring that the world knows just how fragile and precious the peace process has been, but also ensuring that Ireland became central to the Brexit negotiations. People might be surprised, somebody asked already, what can be achieved? Brexit would have happened already were it not for the campaigning work of the people of these border counties. It would have already happened. So we stopped it, and Border Communities Against Brexit have played a huge part in ensuring that it hasn't happened already, because we inserted that elephant in the room, the issue of partitioned Ireland, into the negotiation spirit. So while we commend the Irish government for their negotiating stance in latter months and over the last year or so, it wasn't their starting point. Don't be under any illusion that it was their starting point. It absolutely wasn't. It was because of not only the work that we were doing in the European Parliament and other representatives were doing north and south. It was crucial that community voices were saying the same things that we were saying. And that's why it was so important that the organic growth of Border Communities Against Brexit happened. And my appeal to people in this room, but also to all our friends and families and everybody else, is to lift up our game now in the weeks ahead, because these could be defining. These could be defining. So we will absolutely make the political arguments. We will tell people about the 200,000 jobs that are directly impacted by All Ireland trade that are under threat. The other countless hundreds of thousands of jobs that are connected in some way. But we actually need community voices to raise support and raise recognition for what's in the text of the Good Friday Agreement. Because you can't on one hand say that you're committed to the Good Friday Agreement and on the other hand talk about checks, whether they be a mile or 10 miles or 100 miles from the border. And we're not doing that, because apart from the provisions of a unity poll, and that's crucial, and anybody who says now isn't the right time or is actually undermining those people from a nationalist and Republican community who supported the Good Friday Agreement on the very basis that it created a peaceful path to a united Ireland. For now, 20 odd years later, to be told it's too soon to start even having a conversation, that's not good enough. But also within the Good Friday Agreement, and one of the crucial elements of the Good Friday Agreement, is the guarantee of citizenship. The recognition for the first time since partition, not only by Irish government, but by the world through an international treaty, that people in the north are as Irish, if they want to be, as anybody on this side of the border. And that's really, really important when you get down to it. Because when you talk, and the government talk about minimal border checks, so they're talking about a farmer having to fill out an extra form. This is at the early stages. Of course, as Damien has said, this will only exacerbate. Or a haulier having to have an extra form or licence in order to be able to drive from Donegal to Dublin. or from a business having to have an extra warehouse for goods going from different parts of our country to another. That is a hard border, and that is something that we won't tolerate. Because I was in Tipperary today, and what Leo Varadkar and Simon Coveney have said during the week is the equivalent of telling a farmer in Tipperary that they need special arrangements to sell cattle in Kerry, or they need special arrangements to drive a truck from Tipperary into Limerick. This is one part of Ireland. Fermanagh and Tyrone are another part of Ireland, and we're not going to allow any Yes, we need to say very, very clearly to Dublin that this border is already too hard, and we're not going to tolerate it getting one bit harder.